You may agree long amend Central Bank Act, whereby you may give him exclusive right long all, lo deal with them gold bullion and monetary policy of PNG. They will take full control of this, you know. So in a way, we have lost our sovereign right over this issue.
There is a scam about to take place in this country. You want me to tell you the scam? I will tell you the scam. There is a scam about to take place in this country. We have authorized one Tukina company to do gold mint and gold bullion in this country. That's a scam. That's a scam. You want a scam? We are selling our national asset, our legal tender, to a Tukina company. That's a scam. That's a scam in the biggest magnitude. Gold is not. You go to any country in the world, they will never allow a Tukina company to come and mint gold in the country. They will do it themselves. That's a scam taking place. What about you? What's happening here? The ministers, are you putting a stop to that? That's a legal tender. If you are talking about scam, and I'm talking about what we are doing in cabinet, we are not stopping it.
We consent to see in recent times a bill introduced into Parliament that gives effect to an undisclosed shareholders agreement between the state and a private enterprise. We have serious concerns with the proposed National Gold Corporation Bill 2022. The National Parliament cannot blindly pass such a legislation in such a form. This lack of transparency raises serious questions about accountability, national interest, and potential conflict of interest.
According to the shareholder agreement signed, led by appointed senior man belong on board, and Antaro Dislawly appointed senior man belong on board, all two by exempt from prosecution of any wrongdoing. So even on running business go down, now the background business, all government by PNG, but not a Karamolo court. And only you may not get power, Karamolo court. And you may sign him law, you may sign this agreement finish, and now some bill pass, and now by giving this power go back long on, and bill is start long on. And we only ask him, so this bill time only you may pass him, you may must exclude him all along any other exemption or tax, you may include him all, give him all 10%, 10% corporate tax, whereas over the line pay him tax only pay him 42% now. Now only increasing go 42 from 35. Now this company for the life of the project, all but pay him 10% as well. Government is signing one of the shareholder agreement when this company finishes, and it's a shareholder agreement contract long all, and me got one block copy stop today. And one block copy of some line and give him no me. And the copy, me look him, and me or something inside in a fair country, and me unfair through country now. You may need long stop him this bill, where me by back economy blow you me. This bill suppose only passing me by appeal long all member or look through this bill pass time. And this shareholder agreement me got copy long and me got some issues where me need to discuss one the plan, and me outline him the Yupla by asking Prime Minister, suppose this was something he true or me Giaman. To me, and this bill is one of the worst deal ever in the history of this country. It's worse than the UBS loan and any other deal that we've signed before. Worse, even worse than the oil refinery bill that you may sign into. All of these things that needs to be looked at, and we need to seriously take back PNG. And this is not take back PNG according to what I've seen. Instead of this bill, then we got issue long end, one main issue in shareholder agreement. The shareholder agreement only been signed in Pinis, and we took all the share distribution. Now this is share distribution, and by 80% by going on to a foreign company, mostly Australians, only starting one business a company in Singapore with some dubious all shareholders were only under trust, and we need to understand who's the line is underneath the trust. So trust, me believe was some line you mean the country too, is step inside. That's only item money to trust. You need to investigate this before long. You may proceed one this. Shareholder distribution, we don't agree because we could own this 100% PNG. Okay, inside of this agreement, we got exclusivity clause. And the exclusivity clause for this refinery agreement. And we talk long lifetime plus the project. Lifetime plus the project, and we use some long exclusivity agreement, and we give more 60 years, and then renewal every 30 years. Every 30 years by only renewing this contract. But the discretion, the renewal, must stop long this old company, Singapore. Now, you know, Papua New Guinea government. Papua New Guinea government, but not say whether renew or not empower stop on them, this company. The government by losing total control of gold, because this line by only appointing man on board, according to the shareholder agreement signed, and led by appointing senior man belong on board, and Antaro this only appointing senior man belong on board, all two by exempt from prosecution of any wrongdoing. So even on running business go down, now the background business, all government blame of PNG, but not a Karamolo court. only you may not got power lo kare mo lo court and you may sign law you may sign this agreement finish and now some bill pass and now by giving this la power go back long na bill stop long and me only ask him so this la bill time only you may pass him you may must exclude him along any other exemption or tax you may include him all give him all 10% corporate tax whereas over the line pay him tax only pay him 42% now only increasing go 42 from 35 now this la company for the life of the project all but pay him 10% as well, which is 60 years, 30 years renewal every 30 years, forever and ever. And that, to me, is a curse to this country. Because supposedly no paying other taxes, and they only pay 10% corporate tax. And they are also asking, in that shareholder agreement, which we already signed, we have excluded them from any other tax that will apply to them. And the only tax that will apply to them is going to be the corporate tax, which they will only pay 10%. You may agree long amending Central Bank Act, whereby you may give him exclusive right long all, deal with them gold bullion and monetary policy of PNG. They will take full control of this, you know. So in a way, we have lost our sovereign right over this issue, and this is going once that's passed as a bill. All you ask him was no law past and present and in the future will ever be made to impact this project and this bill that's being passed. So we can never change anything anymore after this bill is passed. And that's what they have already agreed. The Prime Minister has already agreed with them on this when he signed this contract at the Government House. They will have unprecedented monopoly over the market. They will dictate the price. They've asked that the government must not control the price so they can buy at whatever price they feel is fair to them and their profit, which we have already agreed and signed with in the shareholder agreement. The only thing that's going to make it legal now is the bill. Once the bill is passed, it will give power to this shareholder agreement, and that's going to be very, very detrimental to this country. You know, and also with the bill, they will with the central bank amendment, they will control. They'll take over the legal tender for PNG. That's what they've requested, and the gold bullion powers will be given to them. There's a lack of consultation between the government and us, and all of this has been passed behind closed doors. The NEC was not made very much aware of it. I talked to some ministers. They said it was just bulldozed through, and they agreed to it without going into the finer details of this. So me asking you, the member now, ask him copy of this contract. You must ask him copy of this contract. You must have it past time before you sign him you pass him this bill. You must understand it. You must understand what you're doing. You mean not. This will enslave our children forever and ever. It's for eternity. This is a curse. It's not a good deal for PNG. The Prime Minister would be the only person responsible for the state, the interest of the state, which is open to abuse of power. And with this deal being signed, I want every member of Parliament to at least have a look at this bill properly and look at the shareholder agreement. Because once this is enacted, we might have a very hard time fixing this. And it's cleverly put together by these foreign entities for their interest against our people. Now they are going to be given the right to go on whatever price they want to pay. This is abuse of our people. Hard work. Or sweat now goal. Now we have now given them the power to abuse that. And this is really unfair. We can own this refinery 100% PNG owned. I've already organized and talked to NESFAN and POSF. You know, they're willing to come on board. Hummel Holdings, you know, we must have our own. And I agree we must have a refinery, but it must be 100% PNG owned. In partnership with our funds institution in the country, and some of us gold dealers who are already in the business. We don't have to own much shares, we just own minor shares, but we must own this refinery as 100% PNG owned. It must never leave our shores. It must be 100% PNG owned refinery, and this is what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for much, but I think what has already been signed is scary. We have now tied our legs and arms of our children and expect these guys to take over everything. Tumuna blew me before. Or come give me sol na tamyok, na himi dikin gol na put him look. Balus blow no karim go. Now, you mean or karim shla paper cam na you mean sign him. You mean agree na you mean sign him na you mean give him gold blow me go. You mean sabe money you mean talk sabe tasul. What have we signed? Do you know what you've signed? I'm asking the Prime Minister, do you know what you've signed? Do you know what you've signed? I bet you don't. If you do, then there's something wrong with you. And I'm asking you to take this back and cancel this deal, If you guys don't, I am going to do a nationwide awareness, and I'm going to explain this to every grassroots throughout the country. And I'm not going to stop here. I'm not going to stop. So Yula Masawe, this is very unfair. It's the worst deal ever in our history. And I'm surprised that the Prime Minister is telling our other departments to push this forward, knowing very well that this is going to work against us. This is not Take Back PNG. And you talk about increasing revenue. How will you increase revenue when you give away equity, and then at the same time you give away all the taxes, exemptions, and everything else? And not only that, the PNG government will underwrite this project. Underwrite means we will insure it. And these guys are going to have a free ride. This is rape, and this cannot be allowed. And I'm asking everybody, please take time to have a look at this. It is very, very important. It's a very, very important bill that's going to destroy our country, and it's going to enslave our children and our great-grandchildren and our children throughout our history in the future. As long as there's gold under our feet, in our land, this agreement will remain, and we must never enslave our people again. And the government, you are there to protect us. Why are you doing this to us? You must explain to the people, because if you don't kill this bill, I am going to do a road show, and we're going to take it to the nation, and we will deal with this. The population will deal with this. They're already poor. You're trying to make them even more poor by legislating them, already poor people, into the doom and gloom that we call the day that we are trying to fight and trying to protect ourselves from. We are now going to take our children and dump them in the pit. And this is very, very unfair. And I call upon you, Prime Minister, and your minister who's pushing this bill has got interest in it as well. He's got very big interest. His in-laws are behind this, and they're pushing it. And I am very much aware of it. And also, there will be this other bill, this communication bill, and we will deal with that too. And he's pushing the same bill, same issue on this front and on the other front. And we will deal with the population. I will go to the public, and I will do awareness throughout the nation, and you will answer to the people. And any ministers and any members, you guys pass this bill, I will make sure you will have to go back and explain to your people why you passed that bill, and I will show them what you have passed. So you make sure you read and understand before you pass anything.